It's been a long journey, but we are finally going to put a pole barn in. All the stars have aligned. This series is going to be called A Better Pole Barn. We are embracing some new products and we are challenging some of the ways we've always thought about pole barns. I hope you follow us along as we put out weekly videos on this pole barn build.
This is a Johnson receiver. So this receiver will let you know if you're just a hair low or hair high. So what we're going to do is come around here and find our high spot, and then we're going to try to bring in the gravel that we need to make this level. This is going to be a pole barn, so having the floor perfectly level now is not critical, because the simple fact is the poles will not be affected by that. But let's go ahead and get this find out where our grade is and see if we can do some fine tuning. We did this about 2 years ago, so it's been really settled well. So I think right now all we need to do is just kind of top it off and do some fine tuning. So to get started, what you want to do is you want to place your laser level out away from actually the work area, off to one side, because you don't want to put it in the middle, because obviously then you're going to be running around it with a tractor and you never get it all level. So you're going to set it off to the side and then just get it generally level, pushing the little legs into the little spikes in the ground. It's got a little foot. And then this one here, you just turn it on and it auto levels. It'll go through its cycle. And the laser will start spinning. Now, if this was night, you'd be able to see that laser, or if it's late evening, you could probably see some of the laser. If I put my hand up real close to this, you can see the laser going by. Maybe you can or can't, I don't really know with the camera, but I can see it. But once you get out here, you can't see it. That's the reason you need a receiver. So we're just going to turn this receiver on and verify that it's working. You see, it's telling me that I'm high. I need to go down. As I go down, I'm too low now. This thing's very, very accurate. We'll go down. This is higher than it is over there. So this is our new high spot. This needs to be up about an inch. This is about an inch low. It's about an inch. This is pretty good. I mean, it needs to be leveled, it's smoothed out, but overall it's pretty level. So we did this pretty right 2 years ago, roughly 2 inches low right here. So we'll put a little bit of extra. This is going to be pretty much about as good as you could possibly want. Seems like there might be a high spot over there. Might be a little bit of a low spot right there. Let's check over here.
So we had 22 more tons of this red rock brought in. Some people call this crush run because it's kind of a mix of crushed rocks and a real dense, heavy red clay. It's really good for foundation stuff. It packs extremely well, almost to the point as hard as concrete, without having ever to do anything with it again. This has been sitting in the weather for 2 years, and there's basically just very little erosion. We're pretty much generally blessed in the fact that everywhere around us has a high clay content after you get up below the topsoil. So like foundations, you just don't hear about foundations cracking in and around us. If it's done right, it'll last pretty much a lifetime. Like I said earlier, we're going to embrace some new technology. As we put the post down, we're going to use this product called Fast 2K. It's a 2-part epoxy urethane that coats the posts and waterproofs it for life. And this stuff is not your foam like you would see in a spray can. This stuff hardens, I mean rock hard. You guys gotta, if you stayed here with us in this video to this long, you got to see a little sneak peek of some upcoming stuff. But for today, we're going to go ahead and finish prepping this pad. So a couple of years ago, we brought in, I can't remember, it was hundreds of tons of this crush run, and we rented one of those set-on rollers that you drive around and it vibrated and packed this concrete or this crush run down. And we spent a whole weekend riding that thing around, putting layers of this gravel down. I think we did a really good job because it's taken very little now to do this final prep work. wasn't really worried too much about the little thin grass, but in the middle there, the grass was a little bit thicker. So I did come back and scrape most of that off with the bucket beforehand. Organic material will settle some. I had a little bit of leftover gravel, and I was going to spread this out on the driveway before we moved up and did the finish work on the pad. So let's get that done. This is a place where it's really good to have that hydraulic top link, and you can pitch the box blade back and really get these nice, finished looks. But if you want to cut a little more aggressive, you can cinch the top link in and have the cutting edge and the rippers dig in a little bit more. Here's a pro tip. When you're turning around at the end and you're on blacktop, make sure you disengage your four-wheel drive. If you don't, you're putting a terrible bind on your transmission, your drive link, and your front axle. My rule of thumb is don't use the four-wheel drive unless you need to use the four-wheel drive. Four-wheel drive will also tear your yard up if you turn really tight. Boy, I was really loading it up right here, you can tell. I believe I would have done just as good if I had pitched the blade back just a little bit so I wouldn't have been cutting so hard. It did turn out all right. This is what happens when you forget to turn the four-wheel drive back on. Four-wheel drive will drastically improve the straight line pulling power of your tractor. This is multiplied even more when you have the weight of the loader over the front wheels. It's really good to know that we're starting a pole barn. And just to be honest with you, our videos run behind and we've already set post. So stay tuned for that video. It went really well. Had met some great people, tried some new product. Looking forward to showing you guys that. But to wrap this video up, we got this pretty level. We were within about a ½ inch all across this entire pad.